We're continuing from the top on Kedusha Beis HaKnesses, page 316. So, based on what we learned last year, the Brisa said the following in Megillah: "Ein ochlim behem ve'en shosim behem." You're not allowed to eat, you're not allowed to drink there. Mashma, but the Knesset asks linhovim kalus rosh, b'chlose isra achila v'shtiya, ve'en kol heter badavar. That is what it appeared to basically. If I had to show you that Brisa, if you were to be, shall we say, if you're going to codify Jewish law, you conclude a very simple conclusion: you can't eat, you can't drink. Meanwhile, you're all eating. So how are we supposed to understand this? So this says the Tur, Batei Knesios and Batei Midrashos Ein Himam Kalus Rosh. Meaning, so that's literally a quote verbatim from the Brisa and Megillah. Kigon Schok v'Hitu v'Sicha Batei Lavein Ochlin v'Shosim Behem V'Lo Nosiv Lo Mevatlim Behem V'Lo Nichnasim Behem V'Chama V'Shamim. Here we go. V'Talmidei Chachamim Mutarim Le'echol Lishtos Behem. The Tur all of a sudden introduces what appears to be a very interesting counterintuitive heter that a Talmud Chacham would eat and drink. He's not saying Talmud Chacham use it as a place to hide from the sun, or from the rain, or from whatever the case may be. But for these two things specifically, eating and drinking is a heter. Says the Beis Yosef, now, says the Rambam, but taking as in Joshua, ein nagim kalos rosh to gon schok vitos da 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 da. Ein ochlim ein shosim behem. He quotes the exact same thing. Look at the last line. Chachamim, chachamim v'talmidehem mutar nach lishos behem midochak. Meaning, it's stretched. It's an emergency situation. So all of a sudden, the Rambam introduces this dochak concept. Right? I shouldn't the Rambam. The Rambam is before the Torah. Right? Meaning, the Rambam says when he wants to understand the heter and the chachamim, that's only perhaps because they're in a situation they have no choice. Whereas the Torah seems to give more of a green card to anybody. Talmud Chacham can eat and drink in a shul. However, the Rambam says only b'dochak, only under emergency situations like you're learning and after learning you're rushing somewhere else. Or you're in between, you're starving, and you just can't learn unless you eat something. What?
It's breakfast.
It's breakfast time. Someone brings danishes. Exactly. Now, however, the Beis Yosef is not so simple, and this is what we will end with. Says the Beis Yosef. He says the Beis Yosef quotes the Rambam, as you can see, is b'dochak. Umashim edvarav. Go to 317. Umashim edvarav. D'shalom b'dochak lo. Meaning, basically, exactly what our conclusion was, right? The Ravina of Rav Ada bar Matana had the kaimish shile d'sheita mirabba. Atos in Mitzrayim, and they were allowed to eat. Go to Aval. Go to Ashri. Kat v'shem the Or Zerua. The Inhu have machmire anfashe af al pisha hayam mutar. So the Hagot Ashri is commenting on the end of that Gemara. It appears that they weren't under an emergency situation that they needed to eat. It appears that it was just a regular situation and they were permitted to eat in the Gemara. So the question is, the Gemara in Megillah, which we glossed over, was a situation where the Talmid Chacham were allowed to eat. And the question is, was that an emergency situation? Or was that just because of Talmid Chachamim? So, how to understand that Gemara seems to be, is it B'dochak or is it not B'dochak? So the Got Ashri is commenting, and what is he saying? He's saying, even though it's permissible, right? And he says, and let's face it, the Hagot Ashri is saying that, or Zarua is even saying, that yes, there's a Chumrah to be Machmir, but really, Mikaradin, even a non-Talmud Chacham can eat it. Now, right now, only a Talmud Chacham are eating around this table, right? But even a non-Talmud Chacham would be allowed to eat, and it appears to be almost like a blanket for anybody.
Hagot Ashri.
Hagot Ashri, yeah. Now, then the Rosh says, now here's interesting. So the Hagot Ashri is quoting the name of the Tosfos, and the Tosfos is saying that anybody could actually eat in shul. However, the Rosh, Gabe Bate Knesset Shebebavel Al Tanai Hanesios. Now, we mentioned this last week. In Chutz Aretz, shuls were built off Tanai. Why? Because we're out of here. So, if we're out of here, what are we going to do with our real estate? Right? What are you going to do? So it has to be built al Tanai, because what are you going to do with the shul? If we're not staying here. So who are you going to sell to? Who are you going to give it to? Who are you going to... And you can't just walk away from it if it has Kedusha to it. So it has to be built al Tanai. So therefore, the Kedusha of... by the way, this is a very interesting hashkafic perspective. We live a temporary existence. Our shuls are temporary. That has a lot of ramifications to it. Our existence is temporary. But a shul in Eretz Yisrael is permanent. From a hashkafic perspective as well. It's a very interesting concept.
It's
right?
Nowadays, though, right?
Even nowadays. What's it? Yeah. Nowadays too. Especially nowadays, right? Shemin hadin asuken. Velo mishum chumra. It's not a chumra. V'chein yereshu das rabbeinu sharei kasa b'samuch Bedin Beis HaKnesset Shinasa Al Tanai Divrei Tosfos Varosh. And therefore we paskin since our shul is built al Tanai like the Tosfos and the Rosh, who matirs eating and drinking in a shul, even for non-Talmud Chacham. Ve'im ken mashetam dvarav bekanhu mipnei diber pashut hu de'im lo medochak lo inu metar mefilin de Chachamim. V'haran kasav gabei had der. Okay, fine. So, anyways, as you can already tell.
The second day, Rosh Hashanah.
The Rabbi, however, is going to take a step back. Go to that second last line. And this is the general practice. V'afal pi damrina. Ever see the second last line in the middle? We'll end with this. Damrina chacham v'talmidei mutarim mashmali t'v'hainu in the base medrash sholim sham kol hayam. When we say that it's a guy is a Talmud Chacham can eat when he's there all day long. Damrina umay be'rabanan beisa the Rabbanan. Aval Beis HaKnesses low. But a shul, you can't eat in. So here we go. Halacha l'maisa, we will actually make this distinction. We're going to say this difference between the room that we are in right now has a status of base measures. How do I know? That's what it says on the door. Right? That's what the announcements say. Whereas the main sanctuary, this is the name of it, the main, right? The base HaKnesses. One could therefore argue there's a difference in the two. In here, one won't be allowed to eat. For example, we'll have a kiddush here. We'll have chassidus used to have in here. However, in the main sanctuary, we will refrain from eating because it's not appropriate. Perhaps, even though it's built al Tanai, even though you could argue, nonetheless, the prevailing custom is to be machmir in a shul and not eat. Whereas the base medrash, we see there is a leniency to eat. For sure, if you're in yeshiva and you're there all day long, for sure there's a head there. What about a permanent meal and washing? That we'll see a little bit later on. So even though there is room perhaps to be made according to certain Rishonim because it's built al Tanai and Chutz Haaretz, nonetheless we want to observe a special kedusha, especially for our Beis Knesset, which I think from the modern day perspective, we need to just increase the Kedusha Beis Knesset because sometimes it gets a little bit belittled and diminished. So we should probably do, therefore I think generally speaking, especially in a building like this where there's other options where to eat. You tell me you come from a small town and you really have only one room in a shul. Okay, we get, that's a different story. Sometimes they'll even set up kiddush in the back of their semi-sanctuary into these smaller places. Those are, I think everyone has to be analyzed specifically, but especially in a place like this, we have enough places to go to. We don't really eat and drink in the main sanctuary, but we will, however, in a base medrash. But nonetheless, that's perhaps when I would come. Maybe you could eat when you're learning. But to come stam and eat in here, that probably would be a little more problematic. But again, we're rushing out now. Definitely more room to be lenient, to have mazonos while we are learning. Have a great day, everybody.